Hello everyone, welcome back to another mega rant by yours truly, Fukustar the Fortune Star. Today we're diving into many controversies and issues that content creators face, including myself, and the possibility of learning from all those experiences. Of course, feel free to leave any comments that you have about the topics that we're gonna speak about. I really enjoyed all the comments that you guys left on the previous video. It was really insightful and helpful, so I really hope that you enjoy this one as well, and I can continue making more like this. Let's get started. I think it's fun, but like a glorified form of gambling. Yeah, that's basically what people do it. It's just gacha, it's just gambling. You might... there was this whole thing, I don't know if you guys ever followed Moist Critical. There was this whole thing about him having an addiction to gambling because he will open all these cards on stream and stuff. He will get so angry about it. It's like, I don't have an addiction to gambling. I don't have an addiction. I don't have an addiction. He will get so pissed off. You know what I was also thinking? If you guys follow Twitter news or whatever, the name Mudahar might come to mind because he's getting a lot of flack lately about him lying of being an engineer for years. Even to the point that he's been banning the word engineer in his channel. But I mean, I love how, you know, you're supposed to kind of like filter all this, how do you call it? You know, if you don't like something in your community, you can just filter it, right? But as soon as you filter something that bothers you, obviously clearly bothers him. As soon as you filter something, you know, everyone is giving you crap for it. So it's a lose-lose situation. You just have to like somehow not do anything about it. I mean, what he did was pretty scummy, not gonna lie. Like, you're basically lying of being an engineer, which people will... It's kind of a strong standing point. Like, oh, I'm very smart, you know? My point being that you're allowed to filter things in your community, but as soon as you do it, everyone on the internet starts crapping on you. But for this instance, I suppose he kind of deserved it because he lied about something pretty big. You can even get in trouble if you lie that you're an engineer. It's like saying that you're a doctor or something like that. Lying about being a cop is pretty bad, but that's because that's the law. But lying about having a certificate such as engineering, of course, it doesn't matter because you're just lying about boasting about it. If you practice as an engineer or doctor or stuff like that, you know, involves real people, then yeah, that's pretty bad. Why would he even lie about that? Pretty weird. Because if you say that you're an engineer, then people will believe that you're smart about technological topics. But when you do it without any sort of... Oh, frick. I don't know. It's pretty weird to even say it in the beginning. His whole argument is that his mom and dad are like doctors or whatever. So basically, he went to college for engineering, but he dropped out and he didn't finish his degree. But he was basically claiming himself as an engineer. So the whole thing is like really dumb, dude. I feel like maybe he wanted to be a somebody when he was a nobody or something like that, and felt pressure to, I don't know, to say stuff like that. The whole thing is so weird, dude. And now he's like reaping the repercussions of lying about something that's just so dumb. But yeah, he's not gonna get in trouble. It's the same thing for I Read Software. He boasts a lot about working at Blizzard, which he did because his dad got him the job. But he didn't do anything. You know, he did QA. His position was quality assurance of the games. But he didn't really do anything. All he did, according to some people who worked with him, is that he was just looking at the browser, like Amazon websites and things like that. But he also uses this as a moral grandstanding because, oh, I work at a very important company, so you must understand that I'm a very, very big deal. And he uses this, I used to work at Blizzard. There's like hundreds of clips of him saying that. And on top of that, he denies it. I never say that. I feel like someday, you know, when I start growing a bigger audience, I feel like someday I'm gonna get my food on the mouth the same way. I just have a feeling. Can we use this? I'm gonna say something dumb and people are not gonna get let go, and it's gonna bother me forever. It's just one of those things of being a content creator. It's hard to avoid stuff like that. All you can really do is respond in a smart way. Yeah, but not everyone is, you know, and not Krusha. Not everyone is built for it. It's one of those. It's like even big YouTubers have fallen for dumb things. There was recently a cam footage of a very big YouTuber that kind of just fell for drugs and stuff, like weed and and you know, he went to jail for doing dumb things, but he had like 23 million, you know, subscribers. Doesn't, like, just because you're a YouTuber, it doesn't mean that you are like some sort of like moral totem of perfection, you know. Nothing you can, everything you do does no wrong. The bigger the number, the better person you are. It's like, it doesn't work like that at all. I think people think like that because you kind of figure that if you have such a large following, you must be a nice person, but it doesn't always mean that, unless you're Markiplier, I guess. Bro cannot do any wrong, no matter what. Like, even I don't know what's gonna happen when I get in trouble, you know, when I start getting pitchforks. Something similar happened in my Instagram, where I had a little bit of a taste. That's what I tried to say. A little bit of a taste of famous, something going extremely viral, I guess. On Instagram, one of my reels has like over 500,000 views, and people were commenting some really nasty things. However, luckily and thankfully, I was not the target. They were mad at Taylor Swift. But it's really scary how quickly the flames take over. People were telling her, like, they were adding her, telling, like, saying that they wanted to kill Taylor Swift, saying that they want her to kill herself and things like that. I just let it crash and burn. I didn't do anything. There was some hate that I'm not gonna say what it was. There was some hate towards me. I just kind of just either ignore, depending on how big the issue is. I'll just ignore or just delete their comments silently. I'm not gonna reply to any of that. But yeah, definitely interesting. We have to leave items for everything. So far, what I've learned is that the best thing that you can do is just ignore it until it goes away. Unless it doesn't go away, like in the case of Mudahar. I think the fact that everyone is talking about it and other bigger YouTubers like Tecton are talking about it brings out even more attention to it, and he's not gonna be able to ignore it for a while or ever until he addresses it, right? Because people are just gonna keep talking about it, like, hey, remember when you used to talk about being an engineer? What happened? They're always gonna bring it up. So, but in most cases, the best thing that you can do is just ignore it. Just ignore comments, just ignore, not reply to anything. Big strategy, you finish engineer college so the lie becomes true. You think he's gonna be able to do it? I don't know, man. That seems a little far-fetched, to be honest. Basically pushes like a video YouTube a day, at least one. And I bet you he already has that lifestyle inflation where he wouldn't be able to afford things if he quits YouTube just to go back to studying. He should falsify an engineer diploma. Surely nothing will go wrong. I mean, if he's not gonna practice, but I'm sure people will find out. Like, all he has to do is just say where he got it from, like which university. And I think all the universities have public records of that, so you can just look it up. You know, it's just tactics like that are so scummy. Like, people use it. Kind of really bothers me when people do that, because they're getting ahead of the game, right? They're getting ahead of the games one way or another with like very scummy tactics, and you know, no one is really doing anything about it. It's kind of like Fillion, how she got in trouble with that 3D creator because she kept saying that she owned the avatar and stuff, but in reality she never even bought it, and she was selling the rights to make plushies and toys with it. She signed contracts away saying that she owned the proprietary copyright for it. And well, it got herself in legal trouble. It got the companies in legal trouble. And the Japanese creator was like, nope, I don't want to do anything about it. I feel like this is too much trouble for me. I don't want to do anything for it. So like, basically, he forgave Alien about all that. But she still got away. She still got ahead of, you know, instead of like getting her own avatar, getting her own brand, getting her own copyrights, she still got ahead of all these legalities and thousands of dollars that would have been spent without any repercussions. So obviously, saying things like that you're an engineer, obviously an engineer degree costs thousands of dollars, plus all the time and effort that you have to put into it. So you can't just say it lightly just to, you know, earn some points on the internet. But people forget so easily, dude. I don't agree that we should be like pitchforking every single person that makes a mistake, but I don't think you should be getting away with it either. Especially if there's like potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars involved. But you know, it is what it is. There's also something to be said about, you know, VTubers like myself who don't say anything about their IRL activities. What if I, you know, maybe I'm a doctor or something like that, and I just cannot say it or use it because I would rather, you know, remain private. And I were thinking, you a doctor? Come on, I know. I went too far. I should have said something else. My stupidity tells on me. You know, someday I'm gonna be in some heated waters with someone, I'm sure. Who knows what can happen. Hopefully I get cancelled so I can just quit. The curse is over. Just get cancelled, delete everything, go back to fishing or something. I don't know. I don't know what people do with their lives. I mean, some of you guys who've been here for a long time, you guys know that sometimes I'll say like semi-controversial and some controversial stuff. I'll even catch myself saying some dumb stuff because obviously I don't mean it. Like I'll do like some retrospective insight on myself on my streams and realize that I'll say like something like very offensive that I didn't realize it was offensive at the time. And of course I'm not big enough for anyone else to notice, and luckily I'm not big enough for anyone to record my streams either. But I'll just go back and just edit out those parts. So it's really easy for me to avoid, you know, getting in trouble that way. But yeah, fortunately, you know, I like some of these things that I say sometimes. I'm sure if a bigger streamer catches it and tells it to its community, like, you know, it'll be over for me basically. But luckily, there's a lot of people who are mindful of that, and they will not bring it up to their attention because obviously they understand the internet way better, and they understand that they don't want unprovoked hate going towards someone who's smaller. Even if it's something that you said that is very like you have to actually mention it or something like that, they will just, you know, cross your name or choose they'll just paraphrase something like that. There was one time that I felt like I was really close to being in trouble in a sense. Kind of like my intuition was I kind of replied to a Twitter post. I typically don't, you know, that's something that I started doing recently more often, but I don't typically reply. I feel like it's a waste of time replying on Twitter posts, to be honest. The chances of getting noticed by the person that you want a reply from is never going to happen, and just more often than not you get replies from people that are just either misread your Twitter or they're just being mischievous and misrepresenting what you tried to say. So I don't typically reply anymore on Twitter. I started doing it more often recently. However, there was one time where I did reply to something. I guess my opinion was the wrong one, because when that happened, I deleted my response, by the way. I deleted my response. It just felt to me like, you know, the same idea. It's like pointless and dumb is whatever. I don't care whether I was wrong or right. I didn't even care anymore. I just went back and deleted it by myself. But then later on, I saw a very heated debate about the topic, and one of the tweets that came up in those videos with the flaming was the one that I replied to. And these very large content creators were agreeing with the tweet when I was the one antagonizing the tweet, I guess. So I feel like that's the closest time that I could have been like put on blast just for having the wrong opinion. So, you know, as you grow bigger, it's like something that just happens to everyone who wants to be a content creator and is just trying to stay in their lane. You have to stay in your lane. You have to have a mild opinion on everything. You cannot say anything that swings too much to the left or right, or you're gonna upset the left or right. You always have to agree with the most popular thing. You know, if hating and killing Taylor Swift is what people want, then I mean, what can you really do? I'm not gonna get in between a billionaire and the ravenous people of Instagram. That's a battle that I'm not gonna, you know, get in between. I mean, that's just how it is as a content creator, really. For Swift crossfires. Gosh, that's just how it be. And you don't never really understand that as a viewer, because as a viewer, you have a lot of anonymity in the internet. You can just say whatever you want. Oh gosh, what is this dude doing here? He let me escape. So you can say and do whatever you want. You can, you know, your biggest concern is your account getting banned by the platform. You can just make a new one and have no repercussions at all. But as a content creator, you know, you're putting all these hours and effort in your channel. You can't be saying crap on the internet anymore. You can't just start flame wars anymore. It's a business. It's a business brand. Your brand matters. At least it should to yourself, right? Sure, you can be edgy sometimes, say like edgy dumb things. It also depends like what is your climate. If you're like an edgy VTuber, then you can just say whatever and people are not gonna be like, oh, she's the cute bunny that says edgy things. Ah, it's so stupid. And the minion popcorn the gif. Right? She's just so stupid and likable. Even though you say the most like weirdest things, but then if you're like a more serious, you know, content creator, then if you slip out, then you get like eaten by the wolves. Oh, I can't believe Fukustar is not my, you know, perfect being, my perfect virgin love interest. He always says the right thing. He's so perfect and beautiful. I can't believe he says that he hates something. It hasn't always been this way, to be honest. Back in 2000, what? 14, 15, 16? Everything was different. Everything was so tame. You could say literally like the most racist slurs and edgy jokes on YouTube, and you will get in no trouble at all. But then the apocalypse happened, and now people understand that if you're racist or whatever, or say slurs in streams and videos, then you're a bad person and you must be punished. So people take it upon themselves to go on Twitter and YouTube comments, the keyboard warriors essentially, and try to destroy your reputation. Try to go after your sponsors or YouTube or platforms, whatever platform is hosting you. They try to do that because they feel like self-righteous or something. Being in the right side of history. That's what people do nowadays. It's all whatever, proskinators. So a bunch of baloney. It's all a fugazi. Life is a fugazi. Nothing really matters. Everyone should just be kind to everyone. In the end, nothing matters. The thing about the internet though is that there was a recent case actually. There was a recent case of someone getting cancelled, and he did like the worst possible thing that you could do as a content creator. I think his name is Joey Swole. So Joey Swole is an influencer, a fitness influencer who's always against shaming others in the gym and recording in bathrooms where you shouldn't be recording and things like that. So he's a very likable person. You know, he's always trying to... He's like one of those persons that obviously talk about only being like good and doing good in the world. Essentially got cancelled for cosplaying Hulk Hogan and saying that he was a nice person or whatever, that he did so good in the world. And he later on apologized because people kept going into his live streams, into his TikTok live streams and Instagram live streams, telling him why he was bad and this and that. And just like essentially, you know, obviously anyone is gonna break under the pressure of like having hundreds of people just coming into your spaces. So he eventually made an apology, which is probably the worst thing that you can do. If you already messed up with something like that, pandering to the crowd of people who don't care about you, because most likely there was a lot of people who were agreeing with him, but most likely all these people who hated what he did, they were not even followers of him. They were probably just like random strangers that probably just hated him. They just need an excuse to hate him even more, right? So he apologized, and long and behold, the apology did nothing, because what really people wanted it was to deplatform him. So the people he apologized for did not accept the apology, and now he pissed off his base following, the people who did agree with him cosplaying Hulk Hogan. So now you have both sides trying to deplatform him, or at least hating on him for what he did. So he had to take a break from content creation, and then later on he made another video saying that he's not gonna apologize anymore, and that's it. It's like, you know, in those situations I feel like he should have just like taken a step back, just chill for a moment, you know, take a breather, go out for dinner, because the internet stays in the internet unless someone who really hates you finds you in person, right? But most of the people who really hate him are just like, you know, people who hate what he has built so far, you know, calling out Instagram influencers for recording gyms and getting mad and you know, dressing in certain ways that attract eyes, and then complaining about it because they make it seem like every man in the world desires them or something. So obviously a lot of people hate him for that, but those are the type of people who didn't even see or consume his content. They already disagreed with him on a different level, so they just need an excuse just to hate on him. Oh man, there was also another person who got cancelled recently on Twitter. This is a tough one. I don't know if I should talk about it, or at least I don't know if I should give my opinion about it. But Teleporte is a artist from Switzerland, I think. He's a Swiss artist, and he draws a lot of like smut art, you know, like women half naked and things like that. But he most recently tried to give her character like some sort of like voice about, you know, the sentiment of treating women right, like treating women with respect. And people were pissed, brother. They brought the torches and pitchforks and they were pissed. So obviously he tried to, like, you know, fight a good battle and add a voice to her character. Even though she's always half naked, that you should respect women even if they're half naked, and so and so. You know the thing. But the thing is that a lot of people already respect women. No one is saying that we don't. It's just that a lot of people hate when it's like rubbed in their faces, especially from someone who draws porn for a living. No one is saying that we're not respecting women, but no one wants to get it rubbed on their faces, like some sort of like moral grandstanding. So obviously he got flamed to oblivion. He started to like make all his Twitter posts no replies, and he kind of just moved on eventually. And people were saying that he was basically the idols of art, because if you follow idols as well, he's been like, you know, he's been dating this girl that's been like destroying his life. It's like pretty obvious to everyone except for him, I guess. But he's like what is it called? The sink fallacy? The sink investing sink fallacy or something like that. He's too deep to like change his opinion. He's gotten involved with, you know, very like far left extremists that probably like tried to kill him or something if he ever changed his mind. So he's too far gone. You know, not only what you just mentioned, but also like no one cares coming from someone like that. Just like stick to your art. Just stick to drawing the booba, bro. We don't want to hear that your character suddenly now became a feminist. People were charring him, dude. It was hilarious to see. But because, you know, coming from someone like that, it's like, yeah, you don't know. Like people were saying in the replies things like, you don't understand. I enjoy porn in a more sophisticated way than you, okay? It's all so dumb, bro. It's all a fugazi. Like I keep saying, nothing matters. It's all a fugazi. Just enjoy what you want and don't tell others what to do. That's the basis for a good life. Just enjoy whatever you want and don't have some sort of like moral grandstanding over what you do. That's it. Especially because, and it's so sad because I've been a huge fan of Teleporte for the longest time. I don't care he's dating whatever. He can do whatever he wants in his own private life. But I don't understand these people who keep bringing their private life into the internet and expect for everyone to just magically understand. It's like, there's so many cases of people being parasocial with streamers, right? Like, oh my gosh, like I love him or whatever. I love him so much. I want to meet him, or like I want to hang out with him or whatever. But then streamers generally don't feel comfortable with parasocial relationships, right? But then you have streamers opening up private information to their audience, which is reverse parasocial. For you as a streamer or content creator to understand, to try to let others understand an insight of your life, it's not gonna work well because people already have a parasocial like personality constructed for you. For example, Markiplier. Everyone knows that Markiplier is a saint, but you don't know what he does in his private life. What if he watches some like really twisted stuffs? I don't know. No one will ever know, but in their minds, you know, Markiplier is like heavenly, right? Like S tier. You can't expect. It's so dumb. I don't know. It's just so funny. It's dumb and funny. But going back to Teleport, no one is gonna understand his situation, okay? And if you see pictures of his girlfriend, you can see why he's dating her. And he tries drawing porn. What a coincidence! What a coincidence! It's like the bro did not care or look at, you know, personality traits or anything in any aspect of his life. But then he suddenly wants everyone in the world to understand his point of view. It's like, okay, come on, bro. Like, just enjoy your things in peace. Draw the things that you want. Enjoy your girlfriend in peace. Like, yeah, okay, you know. But like, especially when there's like, you know, the current climate of the internet where like everyone is like single and lonely. You really think people are gonna cheer on you for having a girlfriend to begin with? It doesn't even matter what it is. It could be a tree that talks. People are still gonna be upset. So it's like, you know, there's some unspoken rules about the internet that you just cannot share your happiness in certain ways. But you know, all these things, I'm hoping that all these things that I'm looking at myself are making me smarter and ready for when it happens to me, you know? I don't know what's gonna cancel me. Sooner or later it's gonna catch up to me. I can feel it in my bones. I just hope that I can handle it with the best of my ability, and I've learned from the best and on what to do and what not to do. It's also way easier to not get canceled when you only make videos, but unfortunately, I also stream. That's probably the worst part, because no one really can react properly when you're live. Like, no one is perfect, and people can come into your stream and they'll start recording your stream and instigate to get a reaction out of you, and you know, they'll go spread it around, so you can't really control it. And then you'll have all the VTubers and influencers trying to make content out of something. Oh my gosh, did you see the Fukustar did something and then he deleted the bot and that's proof of him being bad, something like that. Sometimes I go into some, like, YouTube will recommend me some streams from VR chat that are like just absolutely atrocious, dude. Like, they're just talking about people, basically. They go into VR chat and they have all these like inflammatory conversations. Oh, you like children? No, you like children. No, you like children. This and that. It's like, you said the N-word, you like children. And then they'll just like they'll stalk their socials. They'll see like what they like and retweet and things like that. And then they call each other out. It's like the bottom of the barrel type of content, bro. And there's like hundreds of viewers too watching them too, because it's like people like conflict. People enjoy all this sort of like societal drama. As long as it's not happening to you, they enjoy it. It's probably the oldest type of entertainment. Small town people, conversations, you know, the gossip and talking about other people's misfortunes. And oh my gosh, did you hear about this? Oh yeah, I heard that so and so did it, or something like that. You know, it's like the bottom of the barrel type of entertainment, and unfortunately it happens. It's like very, very common. I used to watch drama channels all the time before I realized all the point. I mean, I still follow some. Unfortunately, it's like it's all drama. Like, most content is just drama. Like, there's very, very few content creators who focus on things like gaming. It's the same thing with, you know, Tekton, Asmongold, Hassan. They're always just farming each other. Oh my gosh, he said this about you. Oh my gosh, he said that about you. Oh my gosh, he said what? And it at some point they just cannot help it, because their own viewers are expecting them to respond and things like that. They just cannot help it. But yeah, like, for example, like, I'm tired of Osmongold always talking about Hassan because Hassan said something new. It's like, okay, bro, like, at some point you just have to ignore it, you know? Or also the same drama sometimes. It's like, oh, white people do this. Oh, black people do this. Oh, it's like, I'm already done with hearing those two words, bro. White people this, black people this. It's like, I don't know. And it's not like I'm trying to like watch these things. Just sometimes just out of recommends. I don't know. The truth is, you know, just enjoy whatever. If that's what you enjoy it. My problem is when people try to like cancel content creators. If what you enjoy is, you know, flaming people and whatever, yeah, have your time saying something dumb in some reply. No one is gonna care. If that's what you like doing, go for it. Like, maybe some people do like debating and whatnot. Whatever, live and let live. Basically, yeah. Whatever holds your life together for another day, you can do whatever. But like, when it comes to, you know, destroying people's ability to create content, that's what sucks, bro. And some people take pride, you know, some people take pride on dismantling and canceling content creators. It's like, yeah, I'm the one who started everything. Yeah, I destroyed that VTuber's career. They thought that they were so big and mighty. I did that. Unfortunately, this happens to female VTubers more often than male VTubers, because some guys are just literally quite delusional. Some people will take it too far. So it does. I feel personally that it does happen more often to them. But there's been just a lot of cases that I follow. I guess kind of the reason why I follow them is just because, well, one's curiosity, of course. Curiosity killed the cat, I guess. I get really curious about... It's like people watching for me. I love people watching. I love their behavior, seeing their behavior, their patterns, what they do, how they react, things like of that sort. I really love that kind of stuff. So, you know, I feel like I'm basically acting like those who enjoy content like that, the drama content enjoyers, but I'm just The teleporty of drama content enjoyers. I enjoy drama in a more ethical way. I just see it for research purposes. Oh my gosh. But what I'm trying to say here, okay? What I'm trying to say here is I like people watching, I guess. Let's just put it that way. It doesn't have to have some moral grandstanding or anything like that. I just like watching the way people behave and their reaction. I forgot what I was gonna say after that. I was trying to cook something there, but forgot. It's because these are problems that are like as old as Earth, you know? As old as humanity has been alive.